Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Sandbox again, see what's going on there, and just quickly peek at Bitcoin as per usual. So just to get you a quick perspective here, pretty much same old story here. We got a 10% drop yesterday, nice little Black Friday sale. Kind of a red Friday for a lot of folks too, because we saw nothing but reds on the charts yesterday. But some coins actually did very well. Now, Sandbox, we'll take a look at that here in a moment, see what happened with that. But Bitcoin did essentially again sell off, and what we're going to do is we're going to probably see the price increase a little bit over the weekend, maybe get rejected out on Monday, perhaps a little bit further. And I think that once we see between 52 and 54 as kind of a standard place, that will likely become the bottom, because that should be the strongest support level we have at this point. And I think we're going to be able to see it push the upside from there. So probably start seeing a lot more signals next weekend based on that sentiment alone. But for right now, Bitcoin still hasn't figured itself out yet, so we got to kind of stay on the sidelines and wait it out. Between now and then, just go ahead and dollar cost average as the price continues to go lower. Keep doing that. I got filled on a lot of limit orders yesterday, which were awesome. I didn't expect to get filled on half of them. KuCoin down in the 60-cent range. Bitcoin, of course, and Ethereum closer to 4,000 for that. It's definitely something you want to consider doing. It's important to dollar cost average in this kind of environment, because if you don't have money set aside for it, what are you doing, right? You're probably just putting too much money into one basket and hoping for the best. You should never do that with cryptocurrency, even though, yes, you can get lucky sometimes. You hear about some people that do. You got to invest and diversify if you're doing it right, okay? So just before we look at Bitcoin, just before we look at Sandbox, what we're going to do is we're just going to tell you really quick that I love teaching people how to trade. Okay, so just so you know, these videos are for educational purposes. I love to help people become better traders. I have a trading community. Link in the description below for that, CryptoCache Premium. We have limited spots available, of course, this month. I think we are actually maxed out. And we'll have spots available December 1st. So just know if you want to consider joining, that'll be available on the 1st. And why don't we do this here? Let's take a look. First things first in the 4-hour chart. Sorry, the 1-day chart. I can see some pretty obvious things here. Usually, when you see 3 red crows, essentially you basically got, there's 3 white soldiers for 3 candlesticks in the upward fashion, and we got 3 red crows essentially in the downward. So what we should expect here is that Sandbox should likely see a green day tomorrow. Okay, that's the general concept. Granted, this candlestick hasn't closed yet. We're a little premature in that sense, but when you see 3 candles in a row that are very significant and large, then they're followed by either a red or a green day. See, look here. These 3, strong green days, right? Followed by a red day. We could very well see a nice green day tomorrow. Okay, just something to think about. Those, that's not 100%, but candlestick patterns do have a tendency of being very accurate in a lot of ways. Now take a look at RSI. You can see RSI is coming down back to 70, but it hasn't broken below. So what I think in here is, as long as the price stays above $6.11, we should be okay to stay above 70 in the RSI on the 1 day, continuously, basically providing that continuation on the momentum for the bulls, right? So basically, simply put, we're still bullish on the long term, the big picture for Sandbox, even though we have 3 red days here so far. All right, so not terrible. Looking at the 4-hour chart, though, let's see what this tells us. We haven't even touched the 50-day simple moving average yet. That reaffirms the fact that 555 should be a strong support if we lose this current support at 611. And then also we see the RSI testing 50. It kind of tested and rejected, broke below barely, but if you can see here, 611 once again, kind of reaffirming that support. So if you see 50 on the RSI matching up with a strong support level on the charts, that's a very, very good sign. It's concurrent with 70 on the RSI on the 1-day chart, right? We just saw that. That 611 is probably going to be a very strong support level moving forward. I would speculate we shouldn't expect to see the price go lower than that, okay? So looking very good here overall, even though it does appear to be bearish. We're seeing lower highs and lower lows. We could see a turnaround here soon, and I'm anticipating we're going to see a consolidation between 611 and 670 as a rough estimate, and then we should likely see a break to the upside. It may even create a double bottom pattern here, right? We could see that happen. That could happen as well. So there's a handful of things we could see that occur, but obviously right now a little premature. So I guess the takeaway for the moment is that we probably should only dollar cost average and not consider taking a long swing trade position just yet, based on the numbers here so far. We don't have a tremendous amount of bullish sentiment, and we're well below the cloud too. This is another thing to also understand. When you're below the cloud or within the cloud, it's typically not considered to be a buy signal, because that works as basically a resistance zone when it's below, or a support zone when it's above. Now the conversion line is below the actual lagging span here, or sorry, the baseline. When the conversion line is below the baseline, that's basically a bearish divergence. And what we could see though is when this swings back up and the baseline continues over, that is essentially a very similar to a MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart, gives us kind of a buy signal to go along. However, that isn't the only indication. We want to make sure the 1-hour chart tells us also that we're above the cloud, right? So we want to wait for the price to be somewhere in this range here in order for that to occur, and that'll probably be another 24 hours from today, okay? So it'll probably be sometime middle tomorrow or afternoon tomorrow. We'll see the price break above the cloud, and then we can kind of reassess and see if it's worth taking entry. But I don't really see much here telling us that Sandbox is just going to bounce back, but I can tell you that I think we're pretty safe in the presumption that 611 is a strong support level. So my estimate for the next 24 hours is to see the price just kind of travel sideways in this channel here, and then we'll probably see her, perhaps, if all goes well, break to the upside in the next couple of days. I hope you found benefit here, of course. If you do, like, subscribe, comment below if you learned something new, or more importantly, just let me know. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out to me through social media. All that crap's down below. I'm mostly available through Telegram, and obviously looking forward to getting to know you better if you want to consider joining my Patreon community, of course, where I send out signals for every single day trade that I take, and more importantly, just we all learn and grow together. It's an amazing experience. More slots will be available on the 1st of December, just so you know. We're currently maxed out for the moment. Thanks so much for your time again. We'll look forward to seeing you next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.